So this is a 18 flood that that was pugged. In comms with the healer druid, and then the rest of the DPS were filled from pugs. So I'm just gonna go through and just give my tips and some um, suggestions for pulling this dungeon, but also kind of review my own gameplay because there was a lot of places that I made mistakes, and I'll point those out too, so they could maybe try to help you in the future. So we go left. The druid is going right to pull the pack and avoiding the snipers. He's gonna pull it up, and I'll just AoE taunt it when they come up the stairs. So this bullet's a little scary because there's no healer here. So I come in, trying to get threat on everything coming up the stairs. You can see the orange nameplates. I mean, I don't have threat on those mobs. So I got it, and then we are just kind of going through and fighting this pack. It's really, you need to kick the surveyor, obviously, avoid the shredder damage, and then that's most of what's scary about this pack. And then stop these as well, if you can. So I used shockwave previously, and then the demon hunter can use his AoE stun. I got baited into that. So it popped left, if you noticed that, very briefly, right after it started. So I thought it was going left, so I moved right, but actually moved with it right there, which is a little silly. So we do this pull, get through it. I don't want to use Avatar. I'm saving Avatar and Demo Shout. I'm trying to keep a shield up for this next part, because I'm going to group up everything around this lower platform. So there's no DK too, so this is a no DK route, which I had to change how we pull this because of that. And we're also doing the double jump starters. We're going to fight those at the end of this as well. So coming here, I got really low. That was scary. I think I got hit in the back by those, and then I didn't get my shield up. We don't want to aggro those divers, so I put a warning ping. The surveyor to the right, someone needs to kick that, hopefully. Well, it's running in here. So luckily we got that. Architect comes down. That should be the main focus, is killing the architect. And then we fight this back here. Just keep it going. So I shockwave this. So I wait for, I waited for all three to start spinning, and then I shockwaved it. Yeah, fighting. Okay, divers over there. So once the architect dies, I'm gonna go pull the crabs back there, and I'm gonna pull those two divers, and then I'm gonna get three more as well. I want it to be from the left pack group, but it could be the right pack group, which all just depending on what's closer. Since we don't have a DK, so luckily that one was closer. The divers are a little bit trickier to pull because they have the harpoon cast. The shaman died there. He pulled aggro. That was a little silly on his part. So we're pulling this. I'm gonna actually didn't go up the stairs because I wanted to pull this directly into the architect. I didn't want the architect to get pulled from far away. We can't cut into it. So you go over this way. The divers can just walk up this side right here like that. And so now it's all stacked, and then we can keep this going. Only one diver will ever cast harpoon at a time too, so makes it a little bit easier to do this pull with a lot of divers in it. So keep it going. See, I'm backing up, so you can see that the divers are dropping their bombs, and I'm just kiting backwards like constantly. So rapid construction too by the architect. As he casts that, he's gonna reposition to where the tank is, like whoever has threat. So where I am, he's gonna put his scaffolding up there, so I can kind of kite back away from the bombs, make it easier for the melee to hit by doing that. I told the druid to get these crabs, so he pulled them, and then we're going up. So we're gonna kill the divers. Once the divers die, I'm just gonna chain the rest of these mobs up. There's no casters, so everything will just follow. You gotta be a little careful when the crabs die because they explode and they do group damage. And you can see it's like, it's not too bad, but there's a dot. And the more crabs you kill at a time, the more damage obviously it's gonna do. So you don't want to have like 5 crabs die at the same time because that's super hard on your healer, and if people are defensive, someone's probably gonna die. So fighting this, okay. Don't have aggro. I got aggroed on Sir very finally. Took quite a while there. The hunter didn't have misdirect. He had used it previous to this. So fight this. I mean, this is pretty standard pull for this dungeon. You go left here. Just avoid them. Avoid the flame beams. You can spell reflect 1 tick of the frontal fire from the shredinators. So it's good to, you know, pop your spell reflect, hit it once, and then just run out of it if you can. I think I might do that here potentially. Yeah, so I just start running out real quick. So once this all dies, chain it up into the boss. If there's 1 shred, I would chain it into 2. It gets a little sketchier, but I'd probably still chain it if it's only the shredinators left. Fight him. I try to stack Bront on quick fuse. Obviously you want to keep them as close together as you can for your DPS. When the bombs come out too, I'll show you. So I don't see a lot of tanks do this, but I reposition Bront to stand on one of the bombs, whatever's close. I got knocked up in that swirly, so I popped a shield wall to avoid dying there. So got this going. The weak ore in the middle indicates how many bombs are left, so there's no more bombs here. So I'm just going to put him at the wall so he's close, runs over to melee, and we can start attacking him. Yeah, when Bront is here too, I try to put all my damage into him, because you can see Bront has a bigger health pool than Quick Fuse. So it's good to, you want them to die about the same time. And it makes it easier to like get melee uptime on it whenever he's just sitting here. So one tip for fighting this, when you're moving between like the positions that Quick Fuse jumps to, always charge. Never use heroically. Never jump, because you need to save your jump for times like that when you need to get across the map to hit a bomb. So it's always good to save jump for repositioning to hit a bomb. So you see, I move across or charge, just kind of walk. I'm gonna move Bront onto the bomb back here. So now he's gonna charge, and that one's automatically gonna get hit. Let's get hit. Now we've only got 1 left. See, I'm gonna have to jump again. Saved it for this. And go back. Charge over. Okay, moving Bront. You can get 2 on this charge, I believe. Yeah, so we got, or I guess 1. 2 left. He's gonna charge it into those 2, so we're good. Okay, so there's no more left, so I just charge him into a wall near Quick Fuse. So we're gonna go to the kelp after this. Most people don't do this, but the reason being is the kelp after Quick Fuse, everybody, your healer in particular, has all their cooldowns. So I need to pull 3 bombs. So I'm gonna wait for the divers to pad away. I'm gonna pull 3 of these crab bombs into this pack. Get some threat. This is always a little scary to get threat. Like if you're a DPS here, just wait for the kelp to stack before attacking, because they run in really late from each other. Like there's 2 packs of 3 as well, so you can see I don't have great threat. That one's scary to me because I finally got thread on it, but took a while. So on this pack, you want to wait for at least 2 of the kelp to be doing their AoE before you Nova them. So the Demon Hunter Nova was bad because there's only one going at that time. So I would say you wasted it there. Wasn't a good time to use it. I try to save my AoE silence as well for when multiple kelp are casting, at least 3. So I AoE silence that. We fight this. We had really good damage from our Ellie here, which is great. And then that melted, so that felt really safe. So we're gonna go this way. So because we don't have a DK, we can't do the big triple demolisher pull up here where we pull that pack on the right. So we're only doing the kind of typical 3-pack here. So I was kind of waiting for the path, but I was like, oh wait, actually we're not doing that. Pull with the grips over there. So we fight this. You wanna, on this pull, you can chain everything except for, you don't want to chain the inspectors. You could, but it's a little dangerous, especially for a pug. But you want to kill the snipers and then kill the inspectors. Those are the prio to die here because you can chain the rest into Big Mama. So as soon as those die, you can start moving again. The demolishers, they do those circles on the ground, so you can stun them. You can CC. It has to be like a knock-up, it can't be a kick, to stop them from doing that. So if you're coordinated, you can get a lot less of those, which makes this a lot safer of a pull. So we're fighting. I'm telling my group to start to get the snipers. I pull this pack, thinking I'm almost ready to chain to Big Mama, but you can see coming up, the healer actually tells me, like, as we go up the stairs, that he wants mana. He's gonna try to, he's got Shadow Meld right now, but he's gonna try to Meld Drink. It's not gonna work. I think he melds too close to the mobs, and then we have to wait. So yeah, I'm telling everybody, okay, let's get the snipers. I don't have aggro on that hyena for a second. That was a little scary. Okay, so now we're ready to move, but the healer actually tells me, hey, stop. So we're gonna actually, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna get ready to pull, and then I'm gonna turn around, and then we're gonna have to finish this whole pack to let the healer drink. So it loses a little bit of time, but okay. So the hunter actually pulled aggro here. He has misdirect, but he's kiting away. It's a little interesting choice. I didn't notice for a minute, so I charge it, taunt, and then kill this. We weren't in comms with any of the DPS, so they didn't know what we were doing, but the healer should have typed, told them mana, and then they would have probably started to, maybe, obviously probably not use cooldowns on this, but been more aware of what was happening. Okay, so I'm going to pull all 4 of these mobs together. I'm going to get 1 Thunderclap on all of them, just for that initial threat, and then go into Big Mama. Okay, so on this, I didn't play it very well, so there's a lot of learning I could do. So I got hit by that tank buster, the Electro Crush, pretty hard at the first. And so with the Electro Crush, you always want to have, it happens every 20 seconds, and you always want to have a either Shield Wall or Demo Shout and your Spell Reflect for it. And so here, I get hit, I got Shield Wall, and then I Spell Reflect. So that's the way to do it, and you just lap that. It just keeps happening over and over for this whole fight, and except for obviously the jump start phase. So it's a little scary as a tank because that hurts very badly. So you really have to make sure you have your defenses or you're gonna die. So there, I shield walled, use Spell Reflect, got it there. You can see though, I'm not perfect at that. I actually messed it up quite a few times, which is something I need to work on. During this phase, he's taking more damage, so definitely if you have your cooldowns, do as much damage as you can. I've seen tanks, they pull, they'll leave and start pulling, you know, the mobs that you would add to this during that phase, but that's a mistake because he's taking more damage there. You want to maximize the uptime on the damage. I pulled her back away from the electric floor that she puts down after the jump start. But now she's right on the edge, so I should be moving her over. I do it slow, I think I do eventually, but I should move her sooner because it's just reducing the amount of area my team has to play with by keeping it right there. Yeah, so I finally start moving her back here. Yeah, the tank buster hit too. It's I believe it's fully magic damage, or it's primarily magic damage. Certainly the dot is magic damage. So spell reflect is very, very, very nice for this. So I want to get, whenever I try to use the defensive on that, I get hit by it first. I wait for the dot to start ticking, and then I use spell reflect to get the maximum uptime on that. You don't want to spell reflect before and lose some of that time negating damage. I jump over to pull those. I thought I was in range, but I sat there for a minute. Should just moved. Just get those in the pull. Add a little bit of funnel for the demon hunter. Okay, again, she's kind of on the edge. I start moving it here. So that's better, yeah. Now we've got more room to play with. We can go all the way around her. Ideally, too, so with the mechadrums, they're gonna charge wherever somebody is, and you want them to charge into a wall that's close. So ideally, I'd be kind of facing the stairs here. So if any mechadrum came to me, they just hit the stairs and not move far away from Big Mama. But that's like if you're in a really coordinated group and people can all like stack and move together and keep the drums close to Big Mama, that's gonna save you a lot of time on this fight. Yeah, one thing too I noticed that I do a lot is I will be in execute phase and I don't hit execute. So here I'm doing it, which is good, but I'm also hitting revenge sometimes, which I should not be doing. Execute is a much better choice during execute phase. I'm just so used to hitting revenge and execute, I just don't hit it as much. Demon Hunter kick that. So the shaman dies, sadly there. I think I hover over the death log. He died to the sonic boom, which is sad. But it's okay. It was right at the end of that fight. So he releases, he respawns right here. We've got somebody clicking the crate back there. So now we're gonna go up. Alright, so when you pull this this mob up here, the Blood Warper, spell reflect his first cast. That's gonna help him die a lot quicker, that blood blast. So you can spell reflect it, hit him with it, and then I'm gonna pull these mobs, drop a Ravager right there to make sure I get threat. Come in, make sure we kick that. That was close. Kick the sniper cast. What that does is it hits one target, but then it bounces to other people. So actually a lot of people are gonna get hurt by that. So it's a good one to make sure you don't let go off. So the shaman's not doing a lot of damage here. He's below me right now, but the rest of the team is doing quite a bit of damage. So we get through this pretty quickly. I reflect that back. And then we just kind of get through this. The Blood Warper, or not the Blood Warper, the Kelp are already dead too, so we're going to go down. I'm going to pull 3 divers, and which are the only divers left, onto Swamp Face. Down here. You guys are ready to click that, but someone else got it. The Demon Hunter got down first, but he didn't click that, so I start pinging. I'm like, hey, go get that. Because that's going to start the RP for Swamp Face to spawn. I go over and I get the divers, pull them, start getting threat. Start going. They drop their bombs and they do the harpoon. So ideally, I want to kind of keep them back here for a second until Swamp Face is active. Have them drop their bombs and then kind of pull them a little bit closer, so we don't have to worry about the bombs. It's like right here, just moving back. I should have pulled Swamp Face right. I'm waiting a little bit too long here because he's been up for a few seconds. But now here we go. I got hit. Okay, so does the Tank Buster. Right there, and I just got hit natty with it. I didn't have a shield wall or demo shot, which is just bad. You know, you definitely want to have one of those up for the Tank Buster. So that was a mistake. I do things like that quite a bit in this dungeon. So it's good to, you know, I don't really notice it actually until the VOD review. Almost hit that bomb on the ground, but backed away from it. But that's, as far for a tank's perspective, that's the scariest part, is the tank buster that he does after that bubble phase, like when you have to avoid the bubbles coming at you. But it's really easy. You just put, I think it's all physical damage, so Spell Reflect does not mitigate the damage, I believe, but I think I was still using it just in case it did, because there's really no other scary damage here. Staying linked. Make sure to keep shield block up. I'll let it fall off. That's something I need to work on as well, is keeping shield block up. Because there's times where I let it fall off. And that is deadly. Like if there's enough mobs in a pack, that'll get you killed very quickly. I save jump for when we go down here. Fall down, jump up the stairs. And go straight into this. So the main thing to kill here are the electricians, the casters, and the inspectors again, so you can start kiting all the other melee mobs down. The pat is at the end of the hallway too, so I'm waiting for them to come back down. So I pull them here, and then I line of sight, hoping that that gets the caster to run over, but it doesn't. He just sits back there casting. So I charge over, kick it, run back. He's gonna cast again, and I'm gonna AoE silence him right there, so then he gets in. So now he's in the panic. Yeah, if you're in like a group that's doing, you know, hierarchies, you can probably kite. Like you want to kill the electricians, but you can kite the inspectors with the mobs. It's just, you know, some people might forget about them, or just, you know, it's just kind of easier to fight them where they are in a pug and just kind of kill them, because if you get hit by one surprise inspection, then it's a death for most DPS. They don't have a cooldown. So we go over and then pull all this. So we're going to do this. We're going to play the double jump starter, but we're going to pull them after this because they do insane damage. So you don't want to pull 3 jump starters and casters at once. That'd be way too much damage to heal through and way too deadly. So the team looks like they're doing really good damage here. The hunter and the shaman are going crazy. The electricians are melting, and so once all this dies, then we're just going to be left with the inspectors here. So I'm going to wait for all of it to die before going into the jump servers, just because they're such deadly mobs. It's not worth, the couple seconds it'll take to kill this to pull them into those. Especially with the jump starters too, making you move around with two of them. It just reduces the amount of floor space you have by a lot. Alright, this is taking a while though. So the shaman asked if we're gonna lust here, so I said yes. So we're gonna lust the jump starters here just to make sure it dies. I'm gonna mark a skull too. So we're gonna kill one of them first, just to really reduce how much AoE damage they're doing. And then pull them. They're really not that scary. Like almost every group I've been with when I pug this on like one of my DPS classes, they'll skip this, but you don't need to. You really don't. They're not that scary. It can make the routes easier too as well. So actually I'm targeting the wrong mob right now too. I think I switched. That's a mistake. I meant to be on skull. So that's bad on my part there. So the DPS, I think they run out of cooldowns here because this takes quite a while to burn the rest here. They're all just going to be holding until the boss. The healer wants to drink as well, so when we kill this, we're going to pause for a second. But yeah, we're just basically just getting this down. I don't want to go too far into the boss's room here, just in case somebody might body pull the boss. But it is a little scary to have swirlies on ramps, because in WoW, swirlies on ramps are just hard to see. Sometimes they go invisible. It's something that they, it's just a problem with the visuals. That's just always a problem, even in other dungeons like Dawnbreaker. So in general, it's better not to fight mobs that do like frontals or swirlies on stairs. Or ramps even like that. So I shield blocked that hit. I should have also used Spell Reflect too, because it's a magic damage dot. It's sort of like Big Mom, where you get hit initially by a big hit and then a ticking dot after. So I should have used Spell Reflect there. I'm looking where I can get my orb. So if you're a DPS, one tip to help your tank out is make sure, like, wherever your orb is, just kind of make sure that the tank can use one of the close puddles for his orb. I go down here because I didn't use any defensives. I got hit natty with that, so that's my bad. Actually, at the time, I blamed the healer. I was like, oh, you didn't heal me, but looking back at it, I didn't have Shield Wall or Demo Shout or Spell Reflect, so I used Shield Wall like towards the end when I was already about to die. So that was totally my fault. Luckily, though, nobody else died. He was going back into his next phase, so it was just good timing. So here, use Demo Shout and then use Spell Reflect. So I don't know, I don't have a lot of groups wipe before you get here, so this is the boss I've fought the least in this dungeon by far. So that was just kind of new mistakes on my part, getting killed like that. So going for the orb, I kind of let him hit me in the back a lot right there. That was not the greatest. So as soon as I get my puddle in though, I start kiting him back to where he's going to run. So I'm moving him back here. I see the casters in the back, so I don't want to outrange them. So I'm just going to sit here while they cast. And then kind of start scooting, and then he's going to jump here. So it's always good to keep uptime for your melee DPS by kiting him back to this spot where he's going to go. So tank buster, shield wall, spell flag, boom. Fine, didn't even break through my shield. Yeah, so I mean that's one of the biggest things with tanking is knowing when the damage is coming, and then mitigating it before it hits you, before you lose all your health. The Demon Hunter went down. We've got one battle res, so that'll be okay. I think we're waiting on. No, he just was waiting to take it. So now he's back up. Gonna get hit with this. So Demo Shout, Spell Flicked. I should have rebuffed the Demon Hunter. I don't think I noticed. I was too focused on just how close it was to killing them. Another good thing too, like I'm using Revenge sometimes instead of Execute. So yeah, so we timed the key. Got it done there. Saved. It still had a minute 26 with 5 deaths as well too. So good damage. But yeah, you can change the route. You don't have to do the double jump starter like a lot of people do. And yep, so that's how you do it.